We have a
Yep.
special treat today. So I can't wait. I want to, in fact, I want to hear just kind of the intro because Darren, we got to be careful as
Yep.
you introduce this person. It might take 15 minutes just to go over everything that she's done and
Yeah.
everything that she represents and all that. So we can see if we can fit it in about 30 seconds and then we'll let her take it from here.
No doubt. No doubt. So Teresa.
Teresa.
Teresa. My sister named it Teresa, and that's the Okie talk. So you get the Okie version when you talk to Coach White. Um, so we get Teresa on today, and she's an author, a sales agent, and a just all around good person, and that great trainer. We are so blessed to have her on our team, and we got to find out a little bit about Teresa when she goes to Sarasota, Florida, and it was a blessing. We will try to get some more engagement, involvement when we go to our national conference in when October the somebody tell me what dates? Anybody know?
Can I
13th,
say it?
right? It's got
Yes.
Leanne, tell us, Leanne.
Okay, so our conference is going to start Monday, October the 13th. It
Yep,
will end on the 15th.
yep,
We are highly recommending everybody get there a day early to
yep.
check in on the 12th.
Party
And I
on the
believe,
12th. Party that night on the 12th in Vegas, man. So you get there a day early so you can celebrate. Yep,
yeah, because we're going to be starting early.
yep.
And I'm not
Thank
going
you,
to I'm not
Leanne.
going to say no more because I don't want to like
Good.
I
Thank you.
We're not
re
going
You're
to
not
say
release
allowed.
anything
release anything else.
other than, and I'm not going to make announcements. Scott's like, Darren, don't do it, don't do
Uh,
it. And I'm like,
I'm 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 gonna
I'm
I'm
not.
going to mute myself before I say
He,
something I'm not supposed to say.
Scott's already got that mute button ready to go. I'm not going to say other than one thing. You are going to freaking love the venue. And that's all I'm going to say. Wait till next week. We're going to put a little teaser out there, but you're going to love the venue that we have for this. As soon as he told me, I'm like, dude, if you can make that happen, that's going to be solid. So I'm excited about that. But hey, this is Teresa's time. So I want our educator. I always call Scott the professor, right? And I used to call myself Gilligan, but I think I'll go with the skipper, right? Because Skipper Gilligan. So if that's the case, the skipper here, we got the professor. How about Marianne and his sidekick over there with Teresa, and she could be a professor as well. So Teresa, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you got going on today.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So let me share my screen before we get started. Let me make sure that's going. Okay, I could share. And can you guys see my screen here?
yes, we can.
Yeah,
Minimize
business planning.
myself. And we're going to go to, there we go. So guess what I'm going to present on, as you can see it there. Business planning. Yay. How many of you are excited?
I am.
Everyone. Everyone
Yeah.
should be excited because this business is your business. This is actually you. This is what you do. So I think I stopped sharing. Did I stop sharing?
No, you're good.
You're good.
Okay. I just can't see the screen, so that doesn't help. I did something. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. Let me do this again. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about myself. There?
You good?
Okay, good. So my name is Teresa Moreno, as you can see, or Teresa. But I live in Southern California, born and raised in California. I love California. I love the weather. Not so much everything else that's going on right now, but I love the weather. I love being here. Why I love business. Business has been a part of my life since I was 6 years old. I shared the story and when we went to Florida that I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 6. I was with my dad selling eggs out of his station wagon. We would go door to door, block to block, selling. So all I've known in my life is pretty much sales, right? And I've had my own retail business. Well, there was a time when I was running about 6 businesses at one time. Don't ask me how I did it. I know I did it. I've done everything from Avon, Shackley, Mary Kay, What else do we have? Melaleuca, Herbalife, real estate, you name it. I've tried it. I've done it. Right. And what I love about sales is that you can actually sell anything because every day we're selling ourselves. So today, what I'm going to ask of everyone here is to allow me to be your coach, that you are open, that you engage with me because we're not on TV. I actually do want to hear from you, and I will ask you to participate and also to get a sheet of paper and a pen or a tablet so you can take notes and write down. So it is going to be a working meeting today. Yay. All right. Are we ready to go? Thumbs up?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, let's do it. Let's do
All
it.
righty. All right. Here we go. So first thing I want you to think about, what is my goal? What is your goal? I want you to write that down. Actually, I want you to write down two goals, a short-term goal and a long-term goal. Short-term is something that you can complete in 30 days, 60 days. Long-term is something that you want in maybe 5 years. So I'll give you a few seconds for that. Let me know when you're ready. And as you're ready, let me have someone share, what is your short-term goal?
My short-term goal is to replace the income that I had on the position that I just left. So less my house payment because I'm semi-retired. So I don't want to live in those broke retirement finances. I'm too young to take anything out of my retirement. So, but I don't want to work anymore. So here I am.
Perfect. Okay, and do you know what that number is?
I was making 120,000 before, but I also had a house payment. And now my house is paid off, so no house payment. So I'm, 90 to 100,000 would be, nice.
Okay, perfect. As long as you have the number there
Yeah,
of what it is, have a specific number
yeah.
and have a time frame as to when you want to complete that on your short-term goal as well as
Okay.
your long-term. Okay, then
Okay.
Steve, I saw your hand up. Thank you for sharing, Michelle. Steve, did you want to share? Yep. Just come off mute.
Yes, I want to share. Kind of similar to the last lady, I want to replace my income, and the number is 80K. That was my number. I'm in retirement or semi-retire. But that's my goal, my short-term goal.
Okay, and by when? Make sure you put a date on that.
Oh, I'm going to say by the end of this year,
By the end of the year, so pick a date.
December
December
25th,
1st.
Christmas.
Perfect. December 25th. That'll be your Christmas gift.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. And if you're here as an agent, you have an upline. Uplines, pay attention to what your agents want so that you can assist them and support them in that. Leanne. Thank you, Steve.
I would say my short-term goal right now is to write at least 5 policies in 30 days.
5 policies in 30 days. Okay.
Within the next 30 days. Yeah.
Great. Do you want to do final expense? Are you doing I?
I do not discriminate. I will write anything right now. I will. Right now, if I can just write 5 policies, it could be an IUL, it could be a debt-free life. I'm for whatever, anything I can help a client with, I'm there for it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Leanne. As you're writing down these goals, make sure you're using the SMART system, right? That's one way you can get to it. Is it specific? Like, be specific about it. Measure it. Is it measurable? Right? Is it
Yeah.
Did somebody say something?
Misha
Attainable.
was trying to say something.
Oh,
Attainable.
Attainable.
I thought he was going to say his goals. Yeah, make sure it's attainable. It's something that you could reach. Like we don't want to go from, I'm not making any money to I'm going to make $500,000 in 30 days. Make sure it's attainable.
Hmm.
Make sure it's something that you can work towards for and that you're going to achieve, right? Let's start small, and from little small steps you can go to bigger steps, right?
Right.
It's just going to compound on each other. And then, so that's your goal. You have that written down.
Yep, for my short-term goal. My long-term goal would be to make at least 10K a month consistently.
Perfect. And as you're writing down your goals, also write down the plan. Work from the end backwards. So if you want to make $10,000, okay, how are you going to get those $10,000? How many policies is it going to take?
Right.
If you're going to write $1,000 per policy, right? If that's what we want, how many policies will that take? 10 policies. How
Mhm.
many people do you have to speak to?
At least 10 people.
At least 10. Well,
At least
probably
10.
going to be about 100, right? If you get 1 out of 10, look at your numbers. What have you been doing? What have you been completing? So somebody asked us a question last week. I've taken this class with Misha, and the question is, how much money do you want to make? And I actually said I want to make, $1 million, $2 million by the end. So I had to work backwards. That means I have to make $833 a day. So count backwards. How much money is it in a year? How much are you going to make in a year? And then how much do you have to make in a month to get that? And then how much do you have to make in a week? So then how much do you have to make in a day to reach that goal? With us, it would be how many calls do we have to make? Okay, 10 calls, that means, or 100 calls, that means I have to make 10 calls in 10 hours. Talk to at least one person, schedule 5 appointments. Right? Once we break it down and once we know, okay, this is what we did, this is our goal, this is our plan at the start of the week, let me check it off. I already got my 100 calls today. And it keeps building. What that's also going to do is build our confidence because we keep practicing. The more no people tells us, the more we want to keep going. The more we're going to keep asking to get that one yes. Next question is, why am I going to do it? And I want you to write this deep. We usually say, oh, for my kids, I'm doing this for my kids, or I'm doing this for my husband, or I'm actually doing this to retire my husband. Well, what if your husband doesn't want to retire? What if they actually love their job and they love what they do and they don't want to retire and they don't want to be home? And for the kids, my kids are grown. I only have one at home left. But that was when I was working this whole time and doing in business and running all this stuff and running around like a chicken without a head. My thing that I would always say is, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my family. And guess what? My kids don't even want to be a business owner. My kids don't even care about the business. My kids have left their home. They're doing their own business, doing their own life, doing their own what they have to do. And I'm left with like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm doing this for me. So when you look at why am I going to do it, pick something that is related to you. That says, why am I? And you're not being selfish. I give you permission to think about you. And if anybody wants to share, just come off mute because I can't see everyone.
Teresa, I'll tell you this. What you just said is 100% accurate because when I going through my entrepreneurial journey, as I was building companies for my kids and all of that, they literally, as they went through high school, looked at me and said, I don't want to do that at all. And I'm like, seriously, I could have saved a lot of work if I just had have understood the target. So that, just little things like that, that is absolutely critical. You're right. And sometimes it seems like common sense, but a lot of times it's not, especially when we got our blinders on and we're moving forward. So I appreciate that insight.
So
I
why
would,
are you going to do it? Let's hear from you, Scott.
I, oh,
And then we'll have
Say,
Lisa.
well, go ahead, Lisa. I don't want to take up it. Go ahead, Lisa. You go ahead. Nope. You're more important.
oh, see, that's why I love you. The reason why I got into the business is because learning about policies, and as my mom and my dad and them brought policies, and the policies they brought years ago wasn't worth nothing. You know, I come from a family of 10, 9 brothers and sisters. So and they had little policies on each and every one of us. No more than 1,500, wasn't accumulating nothing, didn't do nothing. So as I learned the business, I was like, wait a minute, there's a whole different world out here with insurance. So that made me get my license and look into it and decide to help people. People just thought life insurance was just something that you put on and bury somebody and had enough for the burial and didn't. And that's what they had. So it was an eye opener when I got my license. And that's why I'm trying to stick with it.
Well, we don't want you to try. We want you to do it. And what do you get out of being a life insurance agent?
Well, right now I'm learning. So I'm learning so much. It's like I said, an eye opener. Like a life insurance is, like I said, not just for when you die. It's just so much you can live off retirement. I mean, and as I explain it to people, I get excited. I got people lined up to listen. I did do that little thing I told Scott about yesterday, saying, hey, I'm with a new company. They're giving 5 things away to people to analyze their life and their retirement. So if you want to be a part of that, I can jump on. So I got 3 people interested already. I'm getting ready to get them signed up, look at the video and everything. And I'm excited because, like I said, I turned 60 this year. So I always had insurance policies. I had the insurance policies I took over from my mom and them when we got grown and stuff. And they wasn't worth anything. The insurance man came to the house and got you your policy. But now I'm learning more. So I'm happy.
Okay, Lisa, thank you for sharing. And as you go along the exercise, think about why you want to do this for you. We all want to help people. We all want to be with, everybody else and give them things. But what specifically do you want to do? For me, I'm going to say, I want to travel around the world. Misha, I'll get to you. I want to travel around the world. This is why I am doing this. I want that freedom for me. And if whoever wants to come with me, let's go. If you don't, right, my kids are probably won't come or whatever, but that's fine. Don't come, right? So think about you. Why am I, Lisa?
And one more thing, and I'm gonna be quiet. That's funny you said that. My girlfriend called me yesterday. She wants to go to Greece. I told her, and she also wants to get her insurance license. She took it the first time and didn't pass and everything. So I'm trying to encourage her to keep going. But next month, quote, we're going to travel and hit Greece or somewhere, Japan, just hit anywhere we can go when it's open. So that's why I want to do this too. I can still take my laptop and travel.
I love it. Write that down. Thank you. Misha.
Well, pretty much the same thing though. What I want to do, I want to now that pretty much all the contracting is done, uh, I want to. Well, I'm not. I don't want to. I am doing it. I want to make $30,000 a month on my own production. I want to create an agency where I can start with 10 agents, that these agents can make at least at a minimum $10,000 each. That will give me a $10,000 cash flow minimum. And the reason I'm doing it, it's because I want time freedom. I know that I want to be managing the team and everything, but cash flowing, it will give me the opportunity to travel. So I want to be traveling. Like Lisa said, I just want to take my computer with me. And if I can be working, I don't know, from the mountains or the beach or whatever, or I don't know, from Machu Picchu, I'm gonna do it. So I want time freedom. That is my goal. I just don't want to be here. I want to be traveling, you know, and cash flowing and helping people. And what I like about this industry is that we can do it from anywhere. You know,
Yeah.
the technology has given us that opportunity, so we gotta take advantage of that. So that's why I want to do it.
I love it. Let's go. Agent's first trip. Okay, next question. Thank you everyone for sharing. Why is this a must for you? It's not a need because need comes from lack or scarcity. We're not in need. It's not a want. I don't want to do this. It's a must. This is a must that has to get done.
Because I want to build a company that works in autopilot. You see, I want to have a team of people that want to make it happen. That it doesn't matter if they're going through the ups, downs of life and business. That they just stick to it, you know, regardless. And it's gonna turn into an autopilot company where everybody's gonna be able to build an agency as well. Imagine this: if all of us go through the pains and we're teaching other people to be resilient, everybody's going to be building the same, and then everybody's going to get what they want. So all of us have to go through the downs of a business so we can get to the top. So yeah, I want a company that, you know, pretty much runs in autopilot.
And why is it a must for you, Misha?
Because I want time freedom. I want to be traveling. I don't want to be here. I want to be swimming with the dolphins.
He doesn't want his wife to be out somewhere else and he has to work. I think is
Exactly. Thank you, Misha. Somebody else want to share?
Okay, I'll
I
share.
okay, go ahead.
A must for me is I just want to be able to take care of my, I guess, responsibilities without killing my savings. So this is a must. I need to get out here and sell. I need to get out and do what I got to do so I can still live the same life I was living when I was working a 9 to 5, quote unquote.
Love it. Thank you, Lisa. And Miss Helen.
Am I off of mute?
Yes.
I know. I'm working from my phone. A must for me, and has always been once I stopped teaching and became full time as an insurance agent, is I must do this because if I don't, I will be back in the rat race of a 9 to 5 with having to work for somebody else. So that is the biggest must out there. And I'm scared of that. And I'm like, I'm not going to work for nobody else. So this is a must. I must do it. I have to do it.
I love it.
So,
Thank you. Now, this next question, I really want you to think about this. And it might be something that will shock you or you've never thought about before. What am I worth every hour? How much are you worth every hour? If you go out and get a job somewhere, what is the minimum wage? I don't know. I think fast food is $20 and I really have no idea how much minimum wage is around the country. But are you worth $20 or are you worth more? Are you worth $10? Daniel, are you raising your hand to share? Or is he stretching? Oh, he's somewhere else. So what are you worth every hour?
Do you want us to answer that?
Yes.
So I did this very early on in my career. And I'll tell you what, this is probably the biggest thing that actually led to my ability to make money. Is so, first of all, personally, if I'm not bringing in $200 an hour, it is a waste of my time and I don't do it. I either hire someone that costs me less to do that because my time is worth at least a minimum of $200 an hour. And so what I do is I track that. I say, what did I make this month? what time did I put in? And if the numbers don't balance out at a minimum, then they go back and I say, okay, what did I do that wasn't? And that's, it's also, I don't want to steal your thunder, Teresa, but it's probably one of those things where I learned to look and say, is what I'm doing right now worth $200 an hour? And if not, I got to change my focus and do something else.
Yes, right on. Thank you, Scott. Somebody else, Misha?
Yeah, I do. Same as Scott, you gotta see how much money you made a month divided by the time that you are working. And if the money is not there, you gotta go back to the drawing board and see the activity. What is it that you are focusing on? What is it that you are not doing or doing? Because a lot of people can be in front of the computer, but if you're in the front of the computer, I don't know, watching videos, that's different. You're not really producing. So you have to go back and start refocusing on money making activities. Sometimes you focus, or we focus, I want to say that, in activities that give us just a little band-aid. And, you know, and we know that we can make a lot of money here, but we don't sit down and do it. So that's another thing that determines how much we are worth every hour.
Do you have your number?
Me, yeah, 500 per hour.
I love it. And thank you both for sharing that.
What was his?
500.
Okay, I'm 501.
I
I just had an epiphany.
just raised it.
501 now. Sorry, Misha.
This isn't the Price is Right, Scott.
The rest of you, I want you to put your numbers in the chat. What is your hourly rate? What are you worth every hour? And thank you both for sharing that, because as we go into the next question, it actually talks about what are your daily routines? What are you doing on a daily basis as you wake up in the morning till you go to sleep? And more specifically, what are you doing inside of your business? What is the routine that you have inside of your business? Are you calling prospects? Are you sending emails? Are you creating events? Are you attending events? Are you sharing on social media? Are you talking to your neighbors? Visiting doctors' offices, visiting local businesses around here? What are you actually doing? Or are you watching Netflix? Are you watching videos? Because this is what's going to determine not only how much you're worth, but what are you actually making? At the end of the week, you can say, okay, I made $1,000. Okay, this is what I did to be able to make those $1,000. And you can really take a look at it and see, okay, well, whatever I did this week didn't work. So I either have to change it for next week, go talk to my upline, go talk to someone, share with them, create, partnership with somebody and hold each other accountable. What do I have to do? What does your day look like? And as you look at that, the next question is, what time will I wake up? What time will you wake up? Is it 6 a.m., 5 a.m., maybe 10, 12, 11? What time are you going to wake up so that you can start working on your business? It's a simple question. However, this really sets the tone for the rest of your day. The first thing that you do in the morning is what's going to set the tone for the rest of your day. And if you're out like me on the West Coast, if I wake up at 6, I can actually call people on the East Coast because it's already 9 o'clock over there. If I'm up at 5, it's 8 o'clock over there. So I can already start making calls to the other side of the country. So what time will you wake up? The next one is, what does my morning routine look like? Is that I get up and I get on Facebook or I get on TikTok or I get on Instagram and I keep scrolling and then I go into the scroll world for, an hour, because that's usually what happens. Once you start one, you just keep going and going and going and going. Are you going out to exercise? Are you getting some air? Are you jumping on your call? I love these morning calls. Like, this is my routine. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday with Scott. This is what's feeding my brain. This is what I'm working on. Next question is, what will I do for fitness? I know we've all heard of health is wealth. How many of us actually believe it? Especially us being in the life business and in the health business. So how many of you are actually taking on your fitness seriously? Because if we're sitting in front of a computer for, 8-10 hours, how are you getting out there? How are you working your body, working your muscles, not just your mind? Part of being, a holistic health and part of you taking care of your whole self is your mind, your health, your soul, your body. So we can't just focus on one and leave the other one out. It's all connected and related to you. So what are you doing for fitness? Or what will you start doing if you're not currently doing it? Whether it's just taking a 5-minute walk. So let me hear from some of you. What will you start doing?
Teresa, I have something.
Yes.
I'm into fitness. I train people online. It's how I've been making money along with my Social Security. And my lifestyle is already involving fitness. Every day I get up and I do breath work. I use a red light panel that I stand in front of and do my breath work. And then I go to the gym or I go to the park and I exercise. And I don't do any business of any sort until that's done. I get up at 6:30 usually, and by 9 o'clock that's all done. And then I start doing the life of my business. So that's already my routine.
I love it. Thank you, Steve.
I walk at lunch because I work from home. So I have an hour lunch break. I walk or I bike at least 4 days a week. And then sometimes in between calls, I have my weight set in the room. I'll do sets of weights and do that a couple times, at least 3 times a week.
Jason, I love that. And I really do. You can have little 5-pound weights at your desk as you're working and just lift, right? Curl, curl. You don't have to go get a gym membership to stay fit, to just move. Or buy a headset, a Bluetooth headset, and walk around as you're dialing. When somebody answers, then just sit down and start, on your computer.
So
But
I want to jump in, Teresa. I'm sorry. Because I think this is so important, and I can tell you when I switched from working at an office to working from home, one of the things that I found myself very quickly is like, oh man, like my head is tired, but I'm just kind of getting sluggish and whatever else. And so you can do this very, very easily. Like you can get one of those just very simple treadmills, which is like $140 on Amazon. It's got a couple speeds, like it doesn't have all of the, you just basically stand on it. You can be watching something like this, you could be doing something like this. I love the resistance bands because my joints hurt so badly with free weights. You can get for $14-15 on Amazon, just get these big elastic bands, and literally you can sit there as you're talking to people, as you're watching, trainings like this, whatever, you can do that. And I'll tell you this, CEOs, they have went out and interviewed some of the top CEOs and the top professionals in the world. And the secret to a lot of what they do, you will not find very often a CEO that does not focus every morning or every day on their health. It is necessary. And when I started adapting that, that is when all of a sudden everything else came into focus as well. Because frankly, for me, and I don't know about the rest of you guys, for me, fitness, I'd rather just sit and watch something. I'd rather, instead of going through running or walking or lifting or whatever else, right? So it was when I made that sacrifice, all of a sudden it made other things easier. So I just wanted to point that out, that there's a lot of stuff we can do. Teresa, I love this, by the way. This is fantastic. I'll shut up so I don't ruin it.
Thank you. No, this is perfect. It all goes in line.
Wouldn't golfing be considered fitness for you?
It is. And I stand by that.
Mine would be cleaning my house, because by the time after I mop, I'm out of breath. So that's my fitness.
I think that when it comes to fitness, it's not just the physical movement, but also what you do for your body. Like if you drink alcohol, don't drink as much alcohol. Drink less coffee. To eat better, and stuff like that. Because you cannot do fitness if you're not healthy. So you have to be healthy enough to go out there and do fitness so your body can respond better, right?
What about if you hit all your goals and you make all the money in the world, not healthy, and you can't enjoy it?
Raise the bar.
Exactly.
Challenge yourself.
No, he's saying, what if you hit all your goals and you're not healthy? You don't have the health to enjoy it, right? Because money is not going to actually buy your health. We've seen that. We've seen many people that have a lot of money and still have, these illnesses because they didn't take care of their body. So we want both here. We want you to have the health and the wealth. Make the money so you can enjoy and live the life that you want to have. Thank you.
You're not going to sell a Shackley today, are you? I'm just kidding.
No, I'm out of that business.
You forgot
I buy that. Yeah.
to tell you that, Teresa. You forgot Amway.
Thank you so much. Next question is, how am I going to keep myself focused? In a world where we are so easily distracted and have so many squirrel moments, and we're just, I think our, focus time right now is like maybe 3 seconds, right? It's like 3 seconds and then it's gone. What's next? What's next? So what are you going to do to keep yourself focused?
I write a lot of lists. And then when I get too many interruptions, I actually shut off my phone, shut off my email, and then take a break. And then when I come back, I don't check my phone and I don't check my email, because sometimes what that person wants out there is like more important than what I'm doing here. And I stay on my task until it's done. And then I check my messages to see what I left. But I have to shut the outside world off.
Yes.
Because there's too much confusion.
And sometimes we have to let our family and friends know, I am working. It's when you work from home, people think they can easily call you at any time because you're working from home, and that you're actually not working, but you actually are working. So we have to train them. This is me these are my working hours, 7 to 5. I will not be taking calls because I'm actually at work. So remember, make this your sacred space and let them know, don't call me, don't text me, because just like if I was to be somewhere else and I wouldn't be able to take calls, I can't take calls here because now I'm working with my clients. So we have to train the people in our lives to what we want. So I love that you do that, and turn off notifications, turn off all external things that are going to distract us. Next question is, how am I going to develop myself? What are you doing to develop yourself mentally, emotionally, personally? Are you going to listen to podcasts? Are you going to go to seminars? Are you going to attend any meeting that you need for you to grow? Growing in business isn't just about growing your business, but it's growing yourself, because guess who is in the business? It's us. So yes, let's attend a seminar. Let's attend a class, a workshop. How am I going to grow my skills, my abilities, my knowledge?
We also need to take a measurement of what our plan is, because if we don't gauge or put some kind of measurement to where we are in our plan, then we can't really gauge where we're at.
Yes. Thank you.
I was told years ago that your business grows as much as you grow. So see who you are hanging around with and what books you're reading. Because again, I mean, your business is going to grow depending on the people you meet and the books you read. And that goes to what we're watching, what we are, you know, putting our attention to. So we gotta clean that space as well.
Yes. Papa Fred said, you are what you eat. Exactly. You are what you see visually, what you hear, through your ears, what you see through your mind, what you read, what you speak. Everything is you. Next question is, how am I going to keep myself organized? And this goes back to, how much are you worth? Right? I love what Scott said. He said, if it's something that's not worth my time, then I'm going to hire someone else to do it at a lower rate. Right? Because are you shredding papers? I actually have a professional shredder in my business, and that's my daughter. All I do is I put all the papers in boxes, and Misha can attest to this. We've been shredding like crazy, bags and bags of paper that I've been cleaning and clearing out of my space. So I don't do the shredding. She's actually a professional now. We have 2 shredders, and she's like doing both at the same time. And that's all part of keeping myself organized, keeping myself on task, and doing the duties that are going to bring in the money of how much I'm worth. And somebody said I write a list, I keep lists down. Create a list. Put it on your notes inside of your phone. How are you keeping yourself organized? Are you somebody that likes paper? Are you digital? How am I creating a system and process to be prepared to delegate? And I'm going to speak to this from personal experience. I'm someone who likes things to get done, so I will usually get them done myself. And that doesn't work. It really does not work, because then I'm taking up my time to do other things that I could have been doing. So I've been learning. It's been such a huge learning process to delegate tasks that are not important for me, that are not relevant to the business that I'm doing, that are not producing the income or the result that I want. It's okay to ask for help. I'm giving everybody permission here to ask for help. Whether it's the kids, the husband, the friend, the family member. And guess what? A lot of times we tell kids to wash the dishes, or we tell the husband or the wife or something, and the dishes aren't washed the way you like them to be washed. So then we rewash them. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let them be. They're okay. Same thing with folding the towels. Don't refold them. Just make sure they get done and put away.
One way that I do that to create a system, I have this system that I call it touch it once.
Oh gosh.
Uh-huh.
It works.
Touch it once, and it works. You also, if you use a dish, when you finish using it, wash it. Touch it once. You don't have to finish the eating and then leave the plate in the sink and walk away, because when you least realize it, now you have a pile of dishes that pulls you from your money making activity to start cleaning. And if you do that, I mean, out of the sudden you're gonna see your place and it's a mess. Your office, your desk, everything. Touch everything once. Paper, task. If you need to send an email, don't do it for later. Just do it right there and then. Touch it once. It works wonders.
It does. I love that system. Thank you. Next question is, when am I going to set time to go over my finances? One of the biggest obstacles and hurdles and challenges as a business owner is keeping our own finances in order. Speaking from personal experience. So when are you going to set time aside to go over your finances?
Every morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I remember that as a business owner, you have a lot of deductions that you can take inside of your business. When it comes to taxes, keep track of those expenditures. Keep track of your business. What are you doing so that at the end of the year, you're not giving your bookkeeper, your CPA, a box of receipts that now you don't know where they're from. And they're from like 3 years. I did that. I went to him and I'm like, here, figure it out. I keep a log, whether it's a digital log, whether it's on paper, track your finances. Because then you know, am I actually working in the red or am I working in the green? Where am I at in my business? How can I adjust it? What do I need to do? Maybe it's, 30 minutes a day. Or maybe it's an hour at the end of the week with your family, with your husband, with the kids. Go over your financial plan with them. Next question is, who will I share my goals with?
Yeah, I got a question, Teresa.
Yes.
Like your financial plan, can you be a little bit more specific, like how you, as far as what you cover in your financial plan?
Oh, I love this question because this is actually something I want to talk about next time. Next time I get chosen to do this.
Okay, I mean, I table that for next time.
I will. I love it. Thank you, Scott. Just so you know, Darren.
I have heard the message loud and clear. I do want to say real quick, because Tracy, obviously you're going to be back on here. But I will say this: I heard someone in this industry say, and I could not agree more. If you do not have QuickBooks or some kind of free accounting software that tracks your expenses and your revenues coming in, this is a hobby, not a business. And if this is a hobby, it will only pay like a hobby. If this is a business, it will pay like a business. But it is up to you to be able to, I mean, you've got all kinds of write-offs and all kinds of things that you can do if you're not taking advantage, if you're not tracking. You don't know what you don't see, what you can't see. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. And I'm looking forward to that financial thing. It's already going in I'm making notes. Okay.
Thank you. So who will you share your goals with? Whether it's with your upline, your sideline, your downline, your family, your friends, everybody, let them know what your goals are. People actually want to help people, right? Isn't everybody that's on here, do we all want to help people? Yes. Do we want everyone to achieve their goals? Yes. I love asking people this question is, how can I help you? Because like I said earlier, a lot of us are scared to ask for help. A lot of us are scared to be vulnerable and let the other person know we actually could use their assistance. So we all want to help you reach your goals. Share your goals with us. Put them in the group me and when we're done, what are your goals so that we know how to support you, how to best serve you, and so that we can all grow together. So that's going to be one of the homeworks right now, right after this, is put them in the group me, share them with us. Next question is, how many conversations will I have this week? Pick a number. Even if it sounds scary. Let it be a BHAG goal. Big, hairy, audacious goal. How many conversations? 100? If you've only had 10, then pick 100. Pick 1,000 conversations this week. Next one is, how many opportunities will I have this week? Remember that opportunities are created by you. Nobody else but you. Because once you get out and you talk to people, That's an opportunity for you. If we're just stuck at home and we're not making phone calls and we're not speaking to anybody, then there's no opportunity. There's nowhere to grow. There's nothing to do. So how many opportunities are you going to have this week? And you get to create these opportunities. When you go to the supermarket. So I'm going to share something with you that I used to do like pre-COVID. I have business cards, and my business cards, I would leave them at the supermarket. I don't know why I'm whispering as if it was something bad, right? I would leave them at the supermarket. So I would go to the oranges and there would be my card. I would go to the chips aisle and I would leave my card there. I'm not saying go do this, but you could do this. I would leave it at the parking lots. You know, I was rollerblading. I love rollerblading. So I just get my cards, go rollerblade, boom, 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 drop my card. I love it. You can leave it anywhere. Create opportunities because you never know. You never know the person that's going to buy oranges or going to buy bread that week is looking for life insurance. So create these opportunities for yourself. The next one is, how many presentations will I set up this week? Yesterday, I'm going to share this with everyone. I actually was making mortgage protection calls. I got the list from LeadCo, from Cheryl. And the first call I made, the guy said, I already have my mortgage protection. I already have this. I already have that. And he said, I'm actually looking to pull $40,000 from my equity. And I said, oh, well, you know, we actually have a program that's called Debt-Free Legacy. And Debt-Free Legacy helps you to pay your home off faster. Instead of 28 years that you have now left, you actually can pay it off in 7 to 9 years. Does that interest you? That was the key question. At the end of whatever you say, does that interest you? And he said, it actually does. I said, perfect. I'm going to send you the worksheet so you can write down everything, your expenses of what you have. And then tomorrow we'll set up a time and we'll go over it. So I have an appointment with him today at 3. Was not even thinking about that. Right? I was calling him for mortgage protection. But I can offer him something better. So how many presentations are you going to set up this week?
To add a little bit to that, that is a big difference between being at the game or being in the game. You know, when you're at the game, I mean, you just are watching and seeing things happening. But when you're in the game, you're actually engaged in what is happening. And that's what happened with that conversation, because she was in the game. She was able to ask the question. When the guy said, okay, well, I already took care of this, she was aware, she was able to offer something more and then close the appointment. Be in the game, guys, not at the game.
Yes, get on the court. Thank you. Next one is, what time will I prospect? And is it in my calendar? Biggest thing. If it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. Because when you get that wedding invitation, when you get that, dance invitation, when you get that date, you put that date into your calendar. You put it into existence. So if it's not in your calendar, it is not in existence. So pick a time. Is it from 10 to 12, 11 to 2? And put it in your calendar. Make sure it exists. Who are the 10 people that I need to connect with this week? Just pick 10 people. It could be, maybe you're working with realtors. You can be working with mortgage lenders. You can be working with business owners. You can have your circle of influence. Who are the 10 people that you need to connect with this week that are going to move your business forward? Not just to connect, to catch up. No, let's be intentional about why I'm speaking with you. Why am I having this conversation with you is to move my business forward. The next one is, who am I going to show up? How am I going to show up for my family this week? Because guess what? We spend 8, 10 hours working and then forget about family. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier when I said, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my kids. I was working 12 to 15 hours a day. Ridiculous. I had no life. And I kept saying, I'm doing this for my kids. Somebody has to put a roof over their head. Somebody has to put food on the table. And I was never with them. Never with them. 7 days a week, I was working 10 hours a day at the store. And then it took me 2 hours to get home and then 2 hours to get to work. I wasn't with them. So how are you showing up for your family this week? Are you showing them that all there is in life and what's important is work, 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 so I don't get to spend time with you? Or are you showing them that they are the most important people in your life, that you make time for them? Because part of your business is your family. They're going to help you grow and they're going to help you stay connected to your goal and what you want to do. So how are you showing up for your family this week? What trainings am I going to take this week? Part of your trainings, like I said, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And if you're doing advanced market, it'll be on Wednesday for 2 hours. What trainings are you taking this week? Have them scheduled out, have them planned out. How are you growing yourself? Trainings are inside of you growing yourself and growing your business. And right on time, 7:58. So as we finish up here, continue working on this. It doesn't stop here. This is a constant work. So finish answering these questions, add more to it. If you have any questions, reach out, put them in the chat. I will be taking a picture and answering any questions if they're there. And thank you so much, everyone, for being with me today and for participating.
Teresa, I want to thank you so much for this. This has been absolutely fantastic. In fact, I do want to make sure that we have a little bit of time for some questions. So if there's anything you would like to ask, well, I don't know. I almost think like the wizard or something like that is just there's just a wealth of information. Let's go ahead and unmute and ask real quick because I think that there's just so much here to digest and just so much. If you did not get something out of this, you just weren't listening. And so anyway, who has a question for Teresa?
This may be this may be for Teresa. As far as tracking the numbers, I know there's softwares out there. I use my bank statement at the end of the month, and I have it recorded that way. As I am part-time, I'm trying to get a good software. I don't want to spend a ton of money. What is the what are some of the free softwares out there to track your finances other than like a spreadsheet?
You want to take that, Teresa?
For free softwares, there's a free version of QuickBooks. I was gonna say, I love Google Sheets because it's free. Anything that's free, I love.
Yeah, there are a couple other I know Zoho has a free version. There are a few, and what you're not going to be able to do is get too much into this. You're going to be able to have basic accounting functionality, like what was my revenue and then what were my expenses, that kind of thing. And anytime you have an accountant, by the way, if you do not have an accountant and you're in this business, again, this is a hobby. An accountant is going to save you so much more money. But there are, Google Sheets is easy, Excel is easy, but I would recommend, I use QuickBooks. We use the $20 a month or whatever it is, just because it's necessary for us. The amount, like, just to put it in perspective, with the amount that our agency made last year, I was only taxed on about 32,000 in taxes. Okay, that is absolutely, and we were well into the six figures. So that is a good accountant for you. Okay, they're going to want that. I think there's a $6 version of QuickBooks, so you can look online. Be careful though; make sure it has HTTPS. This is my cyber guy coming through here. If you don't, there's a lot of bad actors out there who are trying to pose as free software financial versions to get your bank account and social and all those other things. So just be careful. But Jason, that's kind of what that is. Who else? Someone else was saying something, had a questions. You got it. Steph, was that you?
I did have a question. For a new agent, when you said, what am I worth every hour? I struggle with that question as a new agent. I see the older agents coming up with numbers really easily. But for a newer agent, it's really hard for me to just say, oh, I'm worth X amount of dollars per hour.
It is. And it could be because we're used to coming from a W-2 world where our worth is set by somebody else,
Right.
not by us. So I'm going to give you the freedom to choose what you are worth. You and only you know what is the value that you're bringing to your job, to the people that you speak with, and dream big, Stephanie. Don't be scared. Don't be like, oh no, that's too much. I know we sometimes get like that. I know I'm like, oh, I don't know if I really need it or if that's for me. It is. You pick a high number. That is what you are worth because the value that you bring, you went through training, you went to get your license, you did all the work that needed to be done that other people do not do. You did it. Therefore, you deserve that pay. You do deserve it. And that's one affirmation I want you to keep saying. I deserve $100 an hour. I am worth it.
So the other thing, oh, Misha, go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
Something I was going to add to that is that you got to change the conversation that you're having to yourself. You know, lately I've been talking to some people and I actually make the effort not to comment when they say when they speak lack. So because they're not measuring themselves to a higher level, they're focusing on what they don't have rather than what they can create, right? So that comes down to your own value. You know, I mean, how much are you worth? Well, if you think that you, or not, let me rephrase that. If you believe that you are worth something, then you have to put yourself out there. You gotta increase everything. And one thing, and I've been learning this, you have to be really, really strong and listen to when somebody's telling you the things that you are doing that are not making you grow. And it's gonna hurt. And if it hurts, create something better than you. You know, I mean, because the truth is that this business is not gonna, you know, keep you
Coddle you.
out on you. It's
Yeah,
gonna make you
no.
grow, but you have to be willing to actually grow. You know, so if you broke, it is your responsibility. If you make money, it is your responsibility.
Absolutely.
Those
I
are my
would
2 cents.
recommend, Steph, one of the easiest ways, and for those who didn't ask the question but are kind of wondering, this is a very simple way to determine very quickly what is my hourly rate. How much do you want to make this year? Like, what is that income goal? Okay, let's say that it's 100,000. Okay, 100,000 is what per month? 83.33 per month times 12 is 100,000. So now you have 100,000. How many hours, working hours, if you were to work 40 hours a week, how many working hours are in the average year? 2,080. So you simply take 100,000 and divide 2,080 into that, and you're going to get an hourly rate of what?
48.
$48. So to you, and by the way, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to make a billion, cajillion, dollars an hour. So there has to be real. If you can't touch it, then it's not smart, right? So then you look at
And this is
what
just my
is,
short-term goal. So we're
yeah,
just starting.
absolutely.
Right.
So let's start. So basically, then so let's just say round it up to $50 an
50
hour,
bucks an hour.
right?
Right.
Okay. And then here's the question you have: is what I'm doing right now worth $50 an hour? If it's not, stop doing it.
Love it.
It's that simple. It is that simple. And then as you grow and as you start, and by the way, one of the things that I'm sure Teresa is going to mention in the next conversation that we have is you go back and audit what you did last week. Your calendar, because Steph, you and I have been working on your calendar,
We've
right?
got my
What does your
calendar.
calendar
Yep.
say yet? And all of that. So now what's the next thing? Go back and audit. How good were you at following what you told yourself to do? Because keep in mind, folks, we can be the best CEO and the worst employee all in one body.
Yes.
Right? We can be the absolute best, boss, but the most horrible employee, or the other way around. Horrible boss, great employee. We'll do whatever we want, but we don't have the common sense or the work ethic to figure out how to set goals or that kind of thing. And so that's what I would recommend to anyone here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be $501 because I'm better than Misha by $1. It doesn't have to be that at all. He finally got that. All it has to be is whatever that time is, and then that's how you increase. You don't eat an elephant by swallowing the whole thing like a python. It's a bite at a time. So that would be my recommendation to you there. It's 8 after, folks. Teresa, again, we love you. We appreciate you so much, and just your ability and desire, and frankly willingness to just pour into us to make us all better. So I want to thank you so very much. If you guys see people that are not on here, this is going to be up on our YouTube channel by this afternoon. So make sure you get on this, you share it, you give it to other people, and that's where we're going to be from there. I do want to say, first of all, there is no official CEO call tomorrow. Agents First offices are technically closed, even though I'm sure we are all, still going to be trying to protect the world here during the 4th of July. You will have tomorrow morning, it will be put out. We have our Wise Guys podcast. Darren and I just decided that we are going to make everyone dumber in this world. And so we shot a podcast yesterday, and we are going to send that out. That will be on the YouTube channel, and that will be out tomorrow morning. So if you get bored, and it's 9 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Pacific Time, or 10 o'clock Eastern Time, and you want to watch something just to fill the gap, to fill the void that you have in your life that morning because we're not actually on the call, watch that. It'll be good. It'll be good because you know what? Just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, we're talking about why agents don't make it. And what we see, why agents do not make it versus agents that do. What's the secret? We've been around it quite a while, so don't miss that one. Guys, let's get charged up today. You make today as good as you can make it today. Do not wish, do it. Put your foot on the gas, all gas, no brakes. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Thanks for jumping in, and we'll talk to you guys soon.